after Attarintiki Daredi, what was your travel in Telugu film industry? How do you look at it?
It was amazing. I think even though Mirchi was my first film that I did a comeback with, which also people really accepted it really well. But I think Attarintiki Daredi is the one that kind of brought Nadhiya closer to Telugu audiences. Masses. Classes. Everybody.
You became a household Atta.
Atta. I very well remember the first time director Trivikram actually came to me with the subject. And when he narrated the script and gave me an idea of my character, I said, I don't know if I really want to do it. I don't know, because you might get stereotyped and I'll get the same kind of roles again and again. So he said, believe me, this Atta will be different from any Attas you've seen so far. I said, you're just saying all these things just to convince me and so that I can play the character. But he was very patient. He waited for me to be convinced to do the character.
Yes.
And then when I said, okay, I'll do it. Because, he was very keen I play that role. Little did I know that, this character would be imprinted in Telugu cinema as... so I'm extremely thankful to him and for him to have this foresight as to how well I would fit this character.
Yes.
So I have to give it to him. So it's my gratitude towards.
Because why Trivikram told you that this makes a difference. This Atta is different completely.
Right.
Because in all the films, regularly we watch mother-in-law.
Right.
But here you are a paternal aunt.
Right.
In the film.
Right.
So you are from the same family.
Right.
Same DNA.
Yes.
That too against power star Pawan Kalyan.
Yes.
That made all the difference. Of course, your elegance, your majesty, your grace in handling that character really multiplied the dimension of the film.
Oh, thank you.
To be very honest with you.
Thank you.
Because today, after your longest career, you don't need to be flattered at all. Because you have enough credentials in your career.
Yeah.
And your best of the movies in all the languages, in fact.
Right.
Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam and all that.
Yeah. Kannada, I haven't worked in Kannada films, but yes, Tamil, Malayalam and
Tamil, Malayalam. But the curiosity lies there after Attarintiki Daredi. You were not too frequent on Telugu screen. Was there any apparent reason for that?
No, nothing at all, because after that is when I did Drishyam. So just after Attarintiki Daredi, I was signed for Drishyam and I did both the Drishyams, 1 and 2. And then I did Na Peru Surya. I did do a few films. It's just that I don't take on many films one after the other. I like to give myself that break before I do another film. It's for me to kind of just come back more energized, come back with a better perspective. And for a woman, it's always hard to kind of balance home and work. So yes. I want to kind of, strike that balance.
Strike the balance.
Yeah, so as much as I can.
Yeah, as much as you can. It directly means that you give a lot of importance and pay attention to your personal life.
Oh yes, very much, because that is where my heart is, honestly. And I think, as I've always said, that cinema is my passion, but it's not my priority. So even when I'm shooting, and even if I finish the shoot by 6 o'clock, I run back home. I just like to be in that space.
You don't while away anywhere?
No. I just rush back home, no matter whatever time the flight might be. It's just my little cocoon, my home.
Your small home.
Yeah.
Small home. Yeah, it's not house.
Yeah,
it's a small home.
It's a home. Yeah, it's a home.
But after being so busy and engrossed in a career that has left you pauseless for a few decades, how could you handle that, life that has nothing to do with the cinema for a longer space?
Oh, I think I absolutely enjoyed that phase of my life as well, because I never take my stardom very seriously. For me, this is all a big bonus in my life. What matters to me is all the small little blessings I see every day in my life. The time I can spend with my family, my friends, without carrying the baggage of an actor. I can just sit and say what I want and not being judged by, or anything of that sort. I just like that personal space. So as I said, even my acting career, I've always looked at it as a 9-to-5 job. It's a job.
Okay.
It's not about, whether you're a star or this is what is required of you, this is how you behave or anything. For me, it's not all about that. When I'm on the set, that's my job.
You're an actor.
I'm an actor, and that's what I have to do my best.
After once you're off the sets off the screen.
Yeah, then I'm not Nadhiya, then I'm Zarina, which is my original name. And so even when I go back, people half the time get confused because some people don't know how to address me, whether they call you Nadhiya or they call you Zarina. Because my friends who are not from cinema, they all know me only as Zarina, and then people in cinema know me only as Nadhiya. So,
but
I'm leading this dual life. Yeah.
You're double role.
Double role in life.
In life. Normally, it is for me, it is a very exciting moment now, because I have interviewed you almost 35 years ago in AVM Studios. I came to, you were shooting some Tamil film,
right?
AVM 8th floor.
Right.
I came there and I interviewed you, and I went and I wrote it. That's our Telugu magazine at the time. It was on the top. It was Jyoti Chitra. The next week I brought it and gave it to you. But you do not know how to read Telugu.
Then I would have made you read it. I would have asked you to read it.
I read it and I explained it in English. Yeah. And you felt so happy for all the content, and you commented one thing, still I remember.
Wow.
You told me that I told you something and you have glorified and glamorized and put it in a right order without any confusion. Even sometimes I missed to tell you completely, you have filled the gap and completed it. For a reader's
I agree. I'm sure I must have said it simply because, sometimes you give interviews, and especially when it's print, on today even, with the power of editing, anything can be changed at any moment. But with print, what happens is, like, you have a one-on-one conversation. And sometimes the tone of the interview can completely change.
Can be.
And it loses its essence and it gets focused on something else. So I think that's what I must have noticed in your writing is that, I must have said something which is probably I meant it from my heart, but I couldn't express it with words. And you probably you got it, and then you kind of put it in words beautifully.
So
thank you.
After that incident, this is the next time, second time I am coming.
So the next will be after another 35 years.
It should not be. And I wanted to know, okay, you told that once you have left that film industry and you went totally.
I took a break, for 15 years.
And completely you are occupied with your family life and home, organizing the home and all that. Did you choose any other special occupation? Or what do you call some avocation that kept you busy and occupied?
Yeah, I think most of them know that I went to America after we got married. My husband was working there. So the first 3 months just took me time to kind of understand how life in America is, and but then my husband thought that, since I've been so busy, it would be nice for me to be a little occupied. So he considered whether you would like to do like kind of an associate degree, a 2-year course, which you kind of make new friends and yet you learn something different. And actually I did that, and I did that for 2 years. I worked very hard. I made it to the dean's list, as they say, which is like you graduate among the top 5 or whatever. And I don't think I've worked so hard in my entire school or college life. So that was like a moment of pride, because there were not many brown kids in school then, in college. I was among the very few, so I felt very proud that, I could do so well. So those were the things which I did, try to manage home and my studies, and my husband would help me out also, because everything had to be done on the computer and you had to print out your papers, which I'm not used to typing. So, after work, he would sit and, I would like write it down and he would type it out for me or make a few changes or whatever. And so that was a big help, actually, big help. I made some friends in America and locally Americans, and just understanding their culture. It was a lot of learning, and I absolutely enjoyed it.
But